When choosing cremation, what do you think the number one concern families that choose cremation is? Hi, I'm Scott Mueller of Mueller Memorial, and I'll tell you what the number one concern is. And most times, people don't ask it. They're almost afraid to ask it. The biggest concern that people have is, hey, how do I know that the ashes I get back are the ashes of the person I love? Every time we handle a cremation service, I always go through that question because I know that at least one or two people in the room are wondering the answer to that question. So let's handle it head on. Here's what we do at Mueller Memorial, and by no means is this standard practice every place, and certainly is not at cremation-oriented only providers. Here's the things that we do. Number one, we encourage families to come in to have a chance to say goodbye to that person before the cremation takes place. They can have as many family members or close friends as they want to come in. Now, a couple things about that. It doesn't cost the family anything extra. It doesn't require us to embalm or do something that the family doesn't want us to do. But what it does allow for is people to come in and to say goodbye on their own terms. I don't want or need to come in and see them because I was there when they died and it was just, I want to remember them as they were. Well, the reality is you can't remember them as they were because now they are dead and it is different. If you were with the person when they died, everything about those last minutes was all about the struggle. The brain will do everything it can to keep a breath and a heartbeat. And that body will go through a lot of struggle until it finally gives up. And that struggle is something that a lot of people remember. But when they come into the funeral home just to say goodbye, the atmosphere is different. It is about saying goodbye. It's not about that last struggle. So coming in is very, very important. A cremation-only company, the online companies or the societies or whatever you might call them, they don't even want you to do this because that slows the machinery down. But that's one of the things that we do. Second thing that we do is we take a stainless steel numbered band and we put it around the wrist of the deceased. If you were to look into the ashes afterwards, that numbered band would match all the paperwork that goes with it. In addition to that, the crematory that we use, and most funeral homes do not have their own crematory, so they have to contract with somebody else. The crematory that we use is at a funeral home. It's a licensed funeral home. The statute in Minnesota really isn't a high enough standard for us as far as crematory operators go. So we go to another funeral home that is a licensed funeral home to a licensed funeral home, licensed funeral director to licensed funeral director. So we're witness to that all the way through the process. In addition to that, they do a numbered medallion that travels with that person as well, so that they make sure that the ashes that come back are the ashes of the person that you love. This is the biggest unasked objection that people have when they're choosing cremation. And you should know that we do everything we can to make sure that you're satisfied with this. Now, if that doesn't satisfy you, or there's somebody in the family that really insists on it, no problem. They can come to the crematory with us. And the crematory that we use has a nice witness section. They're not going to see into the crematory, but they will see the container go into the crematory if that's really important to them. Most families are satisfied with what we do, and they just are appreciative of the fact that we go the extra mile to do that. Because the fact is that you're going to read, and recently it's been stories in Colorado, you can look it up in Google, funeral directors, abbreviated service providers, that's what we call cremation-only companies. Some of them were not doing the things that they were supposed to be doing, and it was horrible. We never want families to ever feel that. We want them to feel that they can trust us to do what we say that we're going to do, and that we're always going to treat the body and the family with dignity and respect. So there's your answer for the day.